Here you have a dummy data set. We will use this to show you how to pivot charts, work in Excel, to produce data visuals for two variables at a time. Cross tabulations show a relationship between two variables in a table. In this case, they summarize totals, also known as frequencies in statistics. Your charts will visualize these totals depending on how you group them. This example will show you how one can create one of these tables in Excel and how it can automatically create a corresponding chart. A data set can be made up of many variables. With Excel, you can very easily aggregate this data for some simple observations by using the pivot table function, and pivot chart for data visuals. If you select the entire data set by highlighting, or simply place the cursor in the uppermost left cell, Excel will know what to include in the pivot table. It then gives you the option to create a new worksheet or tab for the summary data, which I most often do. Then the fun begins. First, you need some value for it to count. For me, I usually use the ID field, drop this into the values, and make sure that count is selected as the summary. Then I can produce the values by category by selecting an item for the rows and a series as something for the columns. You can also scaffold two variables in the rows. You can see how the chart changes as you move the variables around. You want to make sure whatever chart you produce makes sense. So maybe you want to group fruit by sex, maybe the sex by fruit. Let your research question guide your selection. Once you have a chart you want to work with, copy the item by right-clicking and selecting Copy, or clicking the item and selecting from the Home tab Copy. Once you do this, you want to paste your chart image into a Word document as a picture. This will then be the basis for your assignment, in which you will explain the chart and connect the different visuals you have created. Have fun exploring your data.